Alright, timer starting.
What's going on, everyone? This is JT at the Break Zone, and welcome back to our live coverage of the Meta Potion Circuit here in Fresno, California for event number 2 in Northern California. We're here at Crazy Squirrel Gaming. There's a lot of top players here battling for the top grand position to qualify for the series championship for the Meta Potion Circuit. Before we start back with our next match, I'd really like to thank Crazy Squirrel Gaming and Jennifer Ward for hosting this amazing event. We've had a great time. The venue here is amazing. Staff here has been great. So shout out to Jennifer Ward and Crazy Squirrel Game Store. Thank you so very much. We're going to go ahead and move on to our second round for Swiss pairings, and we're going to go jump on in as players are getting ready to go. So we hope you enjoy the stream. All right, welcome back. We hope you enjoyed your first round with us. Now we're looking into round 2 for the Swiss rounds for the Meta Potion Circuit. NorCal event number 2. We have Kristen on the left and Sean on the right. They're both going to roll. Let's see who goes first. Looks like Kristen's going first, and players are going to start drawing.
So I work at a different school. Yes.
So now players get to decide whether they can mulligan or not. Here in this game, when you mulligan, your cards go to the bottom of the deck, and you get to draw 5 new cards. Players, need to both finish with their mulligans before they play. Okay, looks like Kristen's discarding a stage to play a Tifa, and gets a quick point of damage in right away. Strong play. It's always good. Playing fire, you need to definitely worry about the first turn Tifa with the damage point, and looks like Kristen's on the board. Sean's up to act. He goes ahead and discards a Zidane to play into an Onion Knight. Onion Knight also has haste. He's going to go ahead and do another quick attack. Both players are on the board really quick. First rounds, each player with a point of damage on a move. No backups are played. Looks like players are both Sean and Kristen are playing hyper aggressive decks. Let's see how they do with the second turn. Sean pitches a Leviathan, as well as what looks like, oh wow, brings in the Shulky into a Mime. Shulky lets you go ahead and play another character that is not of ice, of cost 3 or less, and immediately Sean floods the board with 3. Kristen's going to go ahead and draw her hand. Let's see what she does here. She's looking at 3 forwards. No players have any backups out right now. It looks like both players are playing a very aggressive deck. Wow, Kristen goes in and pitches 2 cards of Rubicante as well, and brings out a Light Cloud. That's going to be a really tough match for Sean to deal with if Kristen's going to be able to play any of Light Cloud's powers. Let's go ahead and take a look at Light Cloud for everyone who hasn't seen this card before. In Opus 1, one of the stronger cards in the set, heavily used in Opus 1. Hasn't seen a lot of play since then, but still a very, very strong card. Alright, looks like Sean's going to go ahead and party attack. Drawing a card off of the Mine. We've seen the Mine play a lot today. We saw it in the first round when Daryl did the Mine play with the Golbez. The card draw is great. It's going to come in. Sean's going to go and pitch a Merylweb as well as a Mystic Knight to bring out a Amon, dueling the Cloud, but passes the turn, so Kristen's able to activate the Cloud, and it's now her turn. She's looking at 4 forwards right now, with 1 forward that's able to duel on activation. So she's really got to try to combat the tempo as well as the hyper aggression that Sean's throwing out right now. She looks like she's going to go ahead and attack with the Cloud.
Most of the hours for him has been pretty bright. He goes pounding
Oh, and she's going to go ahead and do the attack, getting a point of damage, as well as Omni slashing the Amon away. Classic use of Cloud, because Cloud is brave. It's going to let you go ahead and attack, as well as use his ability once the attack has gone through. She's on the board again with another point of damage. Now she's going to take a look to see if she can do anything on the backswing. Looks like she's going to go ahead and take 2 points and 3 points of damage right there, putting Kristen at 4. It looks like she's going to go ahead and use the VV EX Burst. And the EX Burst comes in handy. Goes and deals with the Shulky. She does take some damage here. She's right at 4 points of damage. But she doesn't lose complete board control here. She has an opportunity to see if she can come back from the extra points of damage here. Let's see what she does on the second turn. Seeing that Cloud has Brave, it's a free attack. And she does this quick attack and passes the turn over. Cloud is great because he's got Brave. He's able to go ahead and get into attack and be able to come back and still be able to defend. Right now, she's wrestled a little bit of board control back. She looks like to be in a good position right now. No players have played any backups right now. So let's see if they can continue pitching cards. There goes a Mirror Web. It's going to let Sean draw 2 and then discard another. Gives him a chance to cycle through cards that he might not be able to play right now, giving him a backup and allowing him to start fleshing out the rest of his mid-game. As we enter into the mid-game phase right now, usually after about 3 or 4 turns, players start to flesh out their hyper-aggression beginning to see if they're going to keep with the aggression, or they're going to start to build out their backup line and start to really go for the end game. Kristen has a chance right now to further stabilize the board if she has an ability to maybe get rid of another forward. Cloud is still sitting here at 8,000. It's pretty strong, right at the curve for CP for 8,000. Has Brave. Let's see what she does. Oh, she brings out a Black Waltz. So Black Waltz is a really good card to go ahead and deal with some cards. She's going to go ahead and target the Onion Knight and breaks the Onion Knight. And now she has an ability. She's going to go ahead and swing and gets in a point of damage. She goes in and ties it up. That is a strong play with the Black Waltz. I like it. She's able to get a backup on. She's able to control the field, leaving Sean with just a Mime, looking down at a Cloud that has Brave. Sean discards Squall and a Shulk and plays into a Yuna. Looks like he's going to go ahead and choose to bounce that Cloud back into Kristen's hand and swing. Kristen takes another point of damage, putting her at 5. This looks to be a pretty fast game right here. We have both players are playing very aggressive. Let's see what she does. Is she going to be able to replay that Cloud? Is she going to go in a different direction? We don't quite know yet. She does have an opportunity to do other things. Let's see what she does. She goes in, has 5. She's going to play an Emperor Zande. Wow. It's going to be a very strong card, especially right now with the board state. So Emperor Zande doesn't quite do much until he attacks, but if he does leave the field, he's going to go ahead and ping something for 9,000. So go ahead and take a look at Zande. It's a strong play on Kristen Zen, especially given what the board state is right now. I like it. It's good. It's going to give a lot of pressure. Let's take a look at Zande, one of the best cards in Opus 2. Let's see what he does. So when Zande attacks, he's going to deal 5,000. When he leaves, he's going to deal 9,000. He's also a 9,000 body. It's really, he's just kind of a bully card. He's going to go ahead and block. The Mime's going to go out. Zande's already taken Mime damage. It's going to discard the Golbez with the Famfrit. It's going to cause the both players to discard. So it goes into break zone. Because Xande doesn't have anything to target, the ability doesn't kick off. Strong play on Sean's end. Looks like he's going to go ahead and play. So Xande is going to go out of the game because of Yuna. He chooses anything that goes into break zone to go out of the game. And it looks like he might be done. He passes his turn. We're back at an empty board state with Sean having a little bit of an advantage because he has 2 backups to Kristen's 1. However, he just pitched a lot of cards to play that. So Kristen has a chance here to regain board control, dropping a first forward down onto the field. Once again, I'd like to thank all of you for joining us here at the Break Zone as we cover the Meta Potion Circuit event number 2 here at Crazy Squirrel. We just have Kristen, and we know that the cloud was in her hand. She holds on to it. It's an opportune time to play it. It's a good board state right now. She's going to be able to attack and defend. With Sean not having as many cards as he did because he used a lot of those cards to play his last set of steps. He pitches the Odin, pitches the Leviathan, brings out another Golbez. Now, this is a really tricky position for Kristen to be in. She can attack. Golbez is a 9k body. You kind of don't want to break him right now. If you break him, he's going to go ahead and fetch a lot of his buddies. And it's going to be really problematic. However, right now, Cloud can actually deal with a lot of those buddies. Especially with his secondary special, he might be able to wipe some of them out. Let's see how she does to combat this. She's at 5 points of damage with Sean at 4. Here at our Meta Potion Circuit, event number 2 in Northern California, we are live streaming Swiss Round 2. She goes ahead and passes her turn. That Golbez is really big. She might want to just leave it around. Sean does have the advantage here. He's going to attack, which is a good move. Puts Kristen on the defense if she decides to block. She decides to block, not breaking the Golbez. Sean looks like he has another play here after in his second main phase. He's going to go ahead and do a Fanfrit. Wow. Fanfrit's going to give Sean the ability to break his Golbez, putting it into the break zone, searching for 4 different forwards of different elements of 2 costs. So he's going to quickly flood the board here, putting Kristen at a distinct disadvantage on her turn. She's going to have to deal with this because she's looking at a lot of pressure. Luckily for Kristen, looks like Sean doesn't have anything else to grab. He should be able to grab 4, but looks like he's only grabbing 3. And she's saved from the Tifa because the Tifa isn't able to attack because he's already passed his second main phase. You can actually. Yeah, that's right. That's correct. If he's playing the Fanfrit during his attack phase, which is a summon, he can indeed attack with the Tifa. And he does, doing another point of damage right over to Kristen. Kristen's looking at a board state that isn't particularly advantageous for her. It's going to be hard for her to come back from looking at 3 different forwards in the field, especially with a Dark Knight that's fairly large at this point. So hopefully she has an answer for these 3 different forwards. If not, again, just like we saw in the first round, Golbez comes back. A lot of players are sleeping on Golbez right now because Nationals didn't have a Golbez top finisher. For a lot of these events, you cannot sleep on these decks, these previous decks. The game is well balanced. It has a lot of different ebb and flows. It's going to be really hard for you to sleep on one because it's still relevant, especially for Golbez. If we see it again in Swiss Round 2, where we have another Golbez player using tools from Opus 3 like Fanfrit, that's going to let him break that Golbez and cause a lot of problems. Is Kristen going to be able to do any type of blocking? She can block everyone, but she's going to trade with land. It's going to trade with land, and that might be fatal right there. It looks like Kristen's going to take that 7 points of damage, and that looks like to be game. And we're done. Both players shake hands. It was a strong game, back and forth, a lot of hyper aggression from both players. Again, we see Golbez come back we see Golbez come back again here, playing strong for Sean. Sean played a very good game. Kristen had a lot of aggression coming out. She was on the board. She was able to, to get back the board state soon. She had an opportunity. The clouds were doing a lot of work for her, but that Golbez came out and it really kind of just stonewalled her. On top of that, Sean was ready with that fanfrit, ready to, make that trade, break the Golbez, really putting the finishing touch. A lot of the times you see Golbez, and we saw in our first round, Golbez was actually an aggressor, starting off the match, putting the opponent behind. Whereas in this match, we see Golbez as the finisher, handling the board state and then over flooding at a point in time where Sean felt like it was the best time to play, and it was. It really overran the field, giving him an ability to continue attacking and to have multiple amounts of forwards on the field, more than Kristen can handle. Kristen played a very strong game. I liked her play into the Black Waltz. That was good. The use of Cloud was good. She was able to stave off the early aggression with the aim on. She played a strong game, played a strong match. Sean was able to come back in with that Golbez at the end. It's a really tough match to play here with that Golbez, especially for playing fire. You don't have a lot of chances to deal with that Golbez. And you don't really want to break the Golbez. And Fire is really good at breaking things, being aggressor. The Zande play was strong, but he was able. Sean was able to move past the Zande and really start to formulate his mid-game plan. The Marrow Web was a strong, good play. It's gonna let him draw some cards, gonna let him cycle. And Yuno was good. I mean, let him bounce back the Cloud, which was really giving him kind of a problem at the point. Forcing Kristen to make a good play on the Zande, but not having both of them out at the same time was huge. She would have been able to play both of them on the next turn, with the Cloud already out. So, again, that's a strong play from both sides. We see, again, Golbez just coming back in, this time on the back end of things, really just kind of putting the nail in the coffin. Thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed that match. I enjoyed watching it. That was a very, very fun match to watch. Please stay tuned for Swiss Round 3s. Before we go, huge shout out to Crazy Squirrel Game Store. Thank you for running the event, as well as Jennifer Ward. The staff here has been amazing. It's been great. The venue is amazing. And before we go, shout out to the Meta Potion Cicuit, as well as his organizers, Matthew McKinty, Matthew Okimoto, and everyone else over there at the Meta Potion team. You guys have been throwing a great circuit. A lot of players have showed up. And here, thank you for joining us at the Break Zone. Continue watching for round 3 as we come back for the last rounds of Swiss. So stay tuned. We'll be back in just a bit.